Imagine a force so powerful, so magnetic, that it can draw everything you desire into your life effortlessly. It's not something external. It's not something you need to find. It's already within you, waiting to be activated. What if I told you that the reality you experience is not fixed, but shaped entirely by how you think, feel, and act? This speech is about unlocking a mindset so potent, it changes the trajectory of your life. This isn't just about hope or wishing, it's about becoming the very thing that attracts miracles, just like a magnet draws metal. Right now you might be wondering, is this really possible for me? The answer is an undeniable yes. But to tap into this, you must act as if you are a magnet to miracles. Every thought, every belief, and every action must align with the outcome you desire, as if it's already yours. When you embody this principle, life starts to shift. Coincidences become frequent. Doors open without you knocking. People, opportunities, and resources seem to find their way to you effortlessly. What I am about to share with you is not a fairy tale. It's a proven formula. But there's a catch: you must commit to changing the way you perceive your reality. You must stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and begin seeing yourself as the creator of your destiny. Are you ready to take that leap? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're stuck? Like no matter how hard you try, things just don't work out? You pour your energy into your dreams, you pray, you work harder than ever, and yet the results don't match your effort. It's frustrating, isn't it? But what if the problem isn't that your dreams are too big or that you're doing something wrong? What if the problem is that you've been trying too hard to make things happen, instead of stepping into the truth that everything you want is already on its way to you? Pause for a moment and consider this. What if I told you that your desires are not random? That the things you want are not a coincidence, but a signal, a sign that they are meant for you? But here's the twist: to receive them, you must stop chasing them. Instead, you must become the kind of person who naturally attracts them. Picture this. A magnet doesn't chase metal. It simply exists, and by its very nature, it draws what it needs. What if you could do the same? What if you could step into a mindset where miracles aren't the exception but the rule? This is not a theory. It's not wishful thinking. It's a truth that has transformed the lives of countless people who dared to embrace it. And today I will show you how to embody this truth for yourself. But let me warn you, this requires a shift in how you see the world, and more importantly, how you see yourself. This is not for the faint of heart. If you're tired of waiting for miracles and ready to become a magnet to them, then stay with me. Because by the end of this speech, you won't just believe in miracles, you'll become the magnet that draws them into your life. Imagine living each day with the unwavering confidence that everything you desire is already on its way to you. This is not a fleeting hope or a wishful thought, it is a state of being, a way of life. When you act as if you are a magnet to miracles, you align your entire existence with the belief that miracles are not rare occurrences but natural outcomes of your inner alignment. This powerful shift in perspective has the ability to transform your reality. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take carries energy. This energy either attracts or repels the outcomes you seek. Think of your thoughts as signals you send out into the world. When your mind is focused on lack, worry, or doubt, you are unconsciously pushing away the very things you want. But when your thoughts are anchored in faith, gratitude, and expectation, you become like a magnet, naturally drawing what you desire into your life. Acting as if you are a magnet to miracles begins with your beliefs. If you believe that miracles are distant, difficult, or only available to others, that belief will shape your experience. However, if you choose to believe that miracles are abundant and that you are worthy of them, your entire vibration shifts. This isn't about pretending or forcing positivity. It's about embodying a deep inner knowing that the life you dream of is not only possible but already unfolding. Your words are equally important. Words have creative power. They shape your reality by reinforcing your beliefs. When you speak in ways that affirm scarcity or doubt, you create barriers to your magnetism. Saying things like, "I don't think it will happen," or "I hope it works out," signals uncertainty to the universe. Instead, use words that reflect confidence and certainty. Speak as though the miracle is already yours. Say, "I am grateful for the abundance in my life," or "everything I need comes to me effortlessly." These statements are not just affirmations, they are declarations of your truth. Action is the final, crucial piece of this alignment. Acting as if you are a magnet to miracles doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for things to fall into place. It means taking inspired action that aligns with your belief in the inevitable success of your desires. For example, if you are seeking financial prosperity, don't dwell on thoughts of lack. Instead, take actions that reflect abundance. Treat yourself with dignity, invest in your growth, and manage your finances with care and optimism. If you're pursuing a dream career, act as though the opportunities are already on their way to you. Prepare, plan, and show up with confidence, knowing that the doors will open at the right time. A key aspect of acting as if you are a magnet to miracles is learning to let go of the how. Your job is not to control every detail or force things to happen. A magnet doesn't strain to attract, it simply exerts its natural force, and the right elements come to it. Similarly, when you focus on the outcome with unwavering faith, you allow the process to unfold. Trust that the path will reveal itself. Release the need to know every step and instead focus on the certainty of the destination. It's also important to cultivate a state of gratitude as you align with miracles. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of your magnetic energy. When you appreciate what you already have, you create space for more blessings to flow into your life. Begin and end each day by reflecting on the miracles that are already present, both big and small. This simple practice strengthens your belief in your own magnetism and keeps you aligned with the energy of abundance. Living as if you are a magnet to miracles is not about denial or delusion. It's about choosing to focus your attention and energy on what you want to create rather than what you fear or lack. It's about stepping into your power as a creator of your reality. When your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony with this belief, you become a force that draws the extraordinary into your life with ease. This way of living requires faith, persistence, and a willingness to let go of old patterns of doubt. But as you practice it, you'll begin to see shifts. You'll notice synchronicities, opportunities, and solutions appearing seemingly out of nowhere. These are not coincidences, they are the result of your alignment. When you embody the belief that you are a magnet to miracles, the world around you will start to reflect that truth back to you. Gratitude is a powerful force that can shift your entire reality. It is not just a feeling, but a vibration, a frequency that you emit to the universe. When you express gratitude, whether silently in your heart or out loud, you are sending out a signal that you are open and ready to receive. It's an acknowledgement that you are not only thankful for what you have, but also for what is on its way. Gratitude doesn't just reflect what you currently have, it expands your capacity to attract even more. One of the key reasons gratitude is so potent is because it shifts your focus from lack to abundance. When you are caught in a mindset of scarcity, believing that there's never enough, that you don't have what you need, or that things aren't going your way, you are creating an energetic block that repels what you desire. But when you choose to focus on what you do have, you open yourself to receiving more of the same. Gratitude, in its essence, is a declaration that you trust the flow of life and that you acknowledge the blessings already present in your life. This trust acts as a magnet, pulling in the very things you are grateful for and amplifying them. When you start practicing gratitude, it immediately shifts your mindset and energy. Think about how you feel when you receive a gift from someone. You feel warmth, appreciation, and joy. This feeling isn't just tied to the physical gift, but also the emotional connection it represents. In the same way, when you express gratitude for what you have, your home, your relationships, your health, or even small moments of beauty, you begin to recognize the abundance that already exists in your life. The more you acknowledge this abundance, the more it expands. The universe responds to this vibration by bringing more of what you're thankful for into your experience. Gratitude is also a form of alignment with your desires. By being grateful for what you already have, you align your energy with the frequency of receiving more. It's like creating a powerful magnet within you that draws in the things you are thankful for. You might think of it as pre-paving the path for future blessings. When you can express gratitude not only for your current reality, but also for the blessings that are on their way, you are sending a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. This is an invitation for more miracles to manifest in your life, and the universe, in turn, responds by orchestrating opportunities, people, and events that align with your newfound vibration of gratitude. This alignment doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistency and a conscious effort to focus on gratitude, especially during times when you may not feel like there's much to be thankful for. Gratitude is a practice that grows stronger the more you use it. Even in challenging moments, if you can find something to be grateful for, no matter how small, you are shifting your perspective. Perhaps it's the lesson you're learning, the strength you are discovering within yourself, or the support you receive from others. Gratitude allows you to see beyond the surface and uncover the deeper blessings that are always present, waiting to be recognized. Gratitude fosters an energetic openness that invites miracles into your life. When you are grateful, you are in a state of receiving. The universe is always seeking to give to you, but it requires an open channel. If you are constantly focused on what's missing or what's wrong, that channel is closed. Gratitude opens it wide, allowing new opportunities, resources, and experiences to flow into your life. The more you express gratitude, the more the universe responds by sending you what you need and desire. As you begin to practice gratitude daily, you'll notice that the universe starts to reflect back your abundance. You might notice synchronicities, unexpected gifts, and people who come into your life offering assistance or opportunities. These aren't coincidences, they are the results of the energy you've cultivated through your gratitude practice. When you act as though you are already abundant, the universe responds with more abundance. When you act as though you already have everything you need, the universe provides you with more reasons to be grateful. Gratitude is also a powerful tool for maintaining alignment with your highest desires. By staying focused on what you have and what you're grateful for, you naturally raise your vibration, allowing you to remain in a state of receptivity. This state of constant thankfulness allows you to live your life with a deep sense of trust and belief that everything you need is already on its way. It's a reminder that the universe is always working in your favor, orchestrating the perfect events, people, and opportunities to help you fulfill your dreams. When you anchor yourself in gratitude, you become a magnet for miracles, and the universe begins to deliver in ways you never imagined. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you can use to manifest the life you desire. It's not just about imagining your goals and dreams, but truly feeling them as if they are happening right now. When you close your eyes and picture yourself living the life you desire, you're not simply creating a mental image, you're aligning your emotions with your vision. This is the key to making your dreams a reality. The emotions you generate during this visualization are the fuel for your magnet, drawing your desires into your life. The first step in this process is to really see yourself. Imagine the details. What does your ideal life look like? Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? The more specific you can be, the more vivid your visualization will become. As you picture your life as you want it to be, allow yourself to step fully into the experience. Visualize the sights, the sounds, the smells, make it as real as possible in your mind. Picture yourself walking through your dream house, driving the car you've always wanted, or having a conversation with people who inspire you. The power of visualization lies in your ability to create an immersive sensory experience that feels real. But the true magic happens when you add emotion to this visualization. You are not just seeing yourself in your desired life, you are feeling the joy, peace, excitement, and gratitude as though it's already yours. Emotions are the energy that fuel your intentions. They elevate your vibration and send a powerful signal to the universe. When you attach emotion to your vision, You're no longer just hoping for the best, you're embodying the outcome, as if it's already a part of your reality. This is the secret to activating the law of attraction. Imagine the rush of excitement you would feel as you stand at the top of a mountain, knowing you have reached your goal. Feel the joy in your heart as you receive the recognition or success you've worked so hard for. Let that feeling of pride and satisfaction wash over you. Or perhaps it's peace and serenity you seek. Picture yourself sitting by the ocean, feeling the cool breeze, and hearing the sound of the waves as you bask in the fulfillment of your desires. Whatever emotions resonate with you, make them as real and vivid as possible. Emotion is the bridge between your current reality and your desired one. It creates a magnetic force that draws your dreams toward you. When you feel the joy of your success now, you are sending out the vibration of that success. You are telling the universe, this is who I am, this is what I have. I am already living this life. The more you can embody the feeling of having what you desire, the more the universe responds. It's like planting a seed and nurturing it with your emotions, allowing it to grow and blossom into reality. But you must also learn to trust this process. It may feel strange at first to visualize your dream life and feel the emotions connected to it. You might wonder if it's too good to be true, or if it's really possible. This is where faith comes in. Trust that the universe is listening and working behind the scenes to bring your desires to fruition. When you visualize the end with emotion, you are creating an energetic alignment with your future self. This energy will begin to attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with the life you've imagined. The visualization works because it rewires your subconscious mind. When you consistently practice seeing and feeling your desires as already fulfilled, you start to believe that they are possible. This belief shifts your actions and decisions, leading you to take inspired steps toward your goals. It also alters your perception of reality, allowing you to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. The more you practice visualizing the end with emotion, the more naturally these opportunities will appear in your life. Emotions are the language of the universe, and the more you can feel the emotion of your success, the more magnetic you become. Visualization is not a passive activity. It requires your full participation and dedication. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire. Feel it deeply in your heart, and trust that as you do, you are already drawing it to you. This practice is the fuel that powers your magnet, turning your dreams into reality. The way you speak has a profound impact on the direction of your life. Your words are not simply expressions of thought, they are powerful instruments that shape your reality. Each time you speak, you are broadcasting an energetic signal to the universe, a reflection of your beliefs, and a declaration of your intentions. This is why it is essential to speak with certainty, not doubt. The language you use influences the way you see the world and how the world responds to you. Words like I hope or I wish are expressions of uncertainty, and they signal to the universe that you are not fully confident in your ability to manifest your desires. When you use these phrases, you create a gap between what you want and what you believe is possible. On the other hand, speaking with certainty aligns your words with your intentions. When you say I am, I have, or it's done, you are declaring without hesitation or reservation that the life you desire is already in motion. These statements of certainty affirm your belief that your desires are already yours, that you are worthy of them, and that they are inevitable. The universe responds to certainty with action. When you speak with confidence, you begin to attract opportunities, resources, and circumstances that align with the energy of certainty you've put out into the world. Think about how you feel when you hear someone speak with confidence. You instinctively trust them more. Their words have a weight, a sense of conviction that draws you in. This is the same effect your words can have on the universe. When you declare something with certainty, the universe doesn't question it. It doesn't wonder whether it's possible or not, it simply responds to the energy you put forth. The more certain you are in your words, the more quickly your desires begin to manifest. Let's take a closer look at how eliminating doubt from your language shifts your reality. When you say things like "I hope" or "I wish," you're leaving room for uncertainty. These phrases carry a sense of longing, of wanting something but not fully believing that it's possible. They imply that the desired outcome is still a distant dream, something that may or may not happen. But when you replace these phrases with statements like "I am," you are making a bold declaration that you already embody the qualities or experiences you desire. You are aligning yourself with the energy of success, abundance, or love, and in doing so, you invite these things into your life. "I am" is one of the most powerful statements you can make. When you say "I am successful," "I am wealthy," or "I am healthy," you are not merely wishing for these things to happen. You are claiming them as part of your current reality. You are declaring to the universe that you are already living the life you desire. This shifts your energy from a place of lack or longing to a place of abundance and certainty. The more you speak with this level of certainty, the more your subconscious mind begins to accept these affirmations as truths. This in turn alters your actions, thoughts, and decisions, creating a pathway for your desires to manifest. "I have" is another powerful phrase that speaks to ownership. When you say "I have a successful business" or "I have a loving partner," you are affirming that these things are already part of your life. This sense of ownership creates a deep sense of gratitude and alignment with what you desire. It is a declaration of abundance, signaling that you are already in possession of everything you need to create your ideal life. The universe, seeing your belief in your own power, works in harmony with your confidence to bring these things into your reality. And perhaps the most powerful phrase of all is it's done when you speak these words, you are closing the door on doubt. You are saying that your desire is already a reality, even if your physical circumstances haven't fully caught up yet. "It's done" affirms that the universe has already begun to bring your dreams to life, and all you need to do is stay aligned with that truth. By speaking these words with absolute certainty, you send out an unshakable message to the universe that you trust in its ability to deliver on your desires. In order to speak with certainty, you must first cultivate a deep belief in your own power. The words you speak are a reflection of your inner confidence. When you believe that your desires are already yours, your words will naturally reflect that belief. This alignment between thought, word, and action is what creates the conditions for miracles to happen. So, eliminate phrases of doubt from your vocabulary. Stop saying "I hope" or "I wish" and replace them with powerful affirmations of certainty. Speak as though everything you desire is already on its way. Declare your dreams with confidence and trust that the universe will respond accordingly. When you speak with certainty, you activate the energy needed to bring your dreams to life, and the universe has no choice but to deliver. Your words carry power. Use them wisely and watch your reality shift in response. Doubts and fears are among the most insidious forces that can prevent your desires from manifesting. They act as invisible walls, blocking the natural flow of energy that draws what you want toward you. When you entertain doubts or allow fear to dictate your thoughts, you are essentially creating resistance. Resistance comes in many forms, but at its core, it is the belief that something you desire is unattainable or out of your control. This belief creates an energetic blockage that disrupts the magnetic force you are trying to cultivate. To eliminate resistance, the first step is to acknowledge that it exists and recognize its role in your life. Many people are unaware of how often they give in to doubt or fear. They may have a deep desire for success, love, or abundance, but their internal narrative is filled with questions like, "What if it doesn't work?" or "Am I really capable of achieving this?" These thoughts create friction, pulling you away from your true potential. You must understand that resistance does not come from external forces, it arises from within you. When you are uncertain about your desires or fear that they won't materialize, you are doubting your ability to attract them. In these moments, you are disconnected from the natural flow of life, from the understanding that the universe is abundant and willing to give you everything you ask for. Fear and doubt may feel like protective mechanisms, but they are actually the very things keeping you from achieving your dreams. The solution to this is to release the need for control. When you try to micromanage every detail of how your desires will manifest, you are imposing limits on the infinite possibilities available to you. You may think that you know the best way to bring your dreams to life, but the truth is, the universe often has a better plan in store. When you try to force the process, you inadvertently close the door to better opportunities. The more you try to control the how, the more you feed the energy of resistance. Trust the process. Let go of the need to control every aspect of your journey. Understand that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you can't see the results right away. Your job is not to figure out the how, but to stay aligned with your desires and allow the universe to unfold the path that will bring them to you. This doesn't mean you should sit back passively and wait for things to happen. It means you should act from a place of certainty, knowing that what you seek is already on its way. When you eliminate resistance, you allow the energy of your desires to flow freely toward you. You stop sabotaging your progress by questioning whether it will work. You stop doubting your worthiness or your ability to receive. Instead, you become a clear conduit for your desires to enter your life. This shift in mindset is crucial because it removes the blocks that have been holding you back. Resistance can come in many forms. It may manifest as impatience, fear of failure, or the belief that you don't deserve success. Regardless of how it appears, the key is to release it. A powerful practice for releasing resistance is to focus on the present moment. Often doubts and fears arise when we worry about the future or regret the past. By anchoring yourself in the present, you free yourself from the grip of these negative emotions. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that right now, in this very moment, everything is as it should be. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be on your journey. Another way to eliminate resistance is through affirmations. Use statements that reinforce your belief in the process, such as "everything is working out for me," or "I trust the universe to bring me what I need." Repeat these affirmations daily to retrain your mind to focus on what you want rather than what you fear. Let go of the idea that you must suffer or struggle to achieve your desires. Resistance often arises from the belief that success is hard-earned or that obstacles must be overcome at great personal cost. But this belief is limiting. The truth is, success and fulfillment can flow effortlessly when you align yourself with the flow of life. When you stop resisting and allow things to unfold naturally, you create space for miracles to occur. Your environment plays a crucial role in shaping your mindset, energy, and ultimately the reality you experience. Just like a magnet can lose its charge if exposed to certain forces, you too can lose your vibrational power if you are surrounded by negativity or people who do not support your vision. Your energy is malleable, and the people and environments you engage with have a profound effect on your ability to attract the life you desire. In order to remain magnetic to miracles, it is essential to curate your surroundings intentionally, making sure they nurture and uplift you. The first step in surrounding yourself with positivity is becoming aware of the energy you are currently absorbing. Take a moment to evaluate the people you interact with, the spaces you occupy, and the media you consume. Are these influences energizing you or draining you? It's easy to underestimate the impact of your surroundings, but everything you experience feeds into your subconscious mind, which in turn shapes your actions, beliefs, and outcomes. If you are constantly exposed to negativity, whether it's toxic people, pessimistic environments, or fear-driven content, it will be difficult to maintain a mindset of abundance, joy, and positivity. To attract miracles, you must align yourself with energy that supports these aspirations. One of the most powerful steps you can take is to surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. People have a magnetic influence, and the energy they bring into your life can either propel you toward your dreams or keep you stuck in a cycle of doubt and fear. Spend time with those who believe in you and your potential. Surround yourself with people who are positive, encouraging, and supportive of your journey. These individuals will help reinforce your belief in miracles, reminding you that anything is possible. Their energy will fuel your own, keeping you aligned with the highest version of yourself. Equally important is the space you inhabit. The physical environment you surround yourself with can have a direct impact on your mental and emotional well-being. A cluttered, chaotic space can create a sense of overwhelm and drain your energy, while a clean, organized, and harmonious environment can promote clarity and focus. Design your space to reflect the life you want to create. Fill it with things that inspire you: books, artwork, objects that evoke a sense of joy and possibility. Your environment should be a sanctuary, a place where you feel safe, nurtured, and supported in your pursuits. When you are in a space that feels good, your energy rises and you become a stronger magnet to the miracles you desire. In addition to the people you spend time with and the spaces you occupy, the content you consume also plays a significant role in shaping your mindset. What you watch, read, and listen to can either elevate your energy or pull you down into negativity. Choose media that aligns with your vision and helps you stay focused on what you want to create. Seek out content that motivates, inspires, and educates you. Whether it's a podcast that fuels your passion, a book that expands your perspective, or a social media feed filled with positivity, make sure that the content you consume supports your growth. The more you feed your mind with positivity, the more your energy will align with the abundance and miracles you are trying to attract. Surrounding yourself with positivity does not mean avoiding difficult emotions or challenging situations. It's about creating a foundation of support and resilience that allows you to face life's challenges with strength and clarity. Positive environments and people don't mean that everything is always perfect, but they provide the necessary support to help you bounce back from adversity quickly and maintain focus on your goals. Positivity helps you stay grounded in your vision, even when life presents obstacles. It's about choosing to stay in alignment with your desired outcome, no matter what external circumstances arise. To stay magnetic to miracles, it's also important to be mindful of your own energy. Take responsibility for your own vibrational state, recognizing that you have the power to raise your frequency through your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Choose to focus on what you want, not what you fear. Practice gratitude daily, and remember that the more you cultivate a sense of appreciation for what you have, the more you will attract. Embrace self-care rituals that keep your energy high, whether it's through meditation, exercise, creative expression, or spending time in nature. Your energy is your most powerful asset, and when you protect it by surrounding yourself with positivity, you strengthen your magnetism. When you surround yourself with positivity, you align with the frequency of miracles. You create a field of energy that attracts the people, opportunities, and circumstances that support your desires. The more you immerse yourself in environments and relationships that uplift and inspire you, the stronger your ability to manifest will become. By making the conscious decision to surround yourself with positive influences, you are actively choosing to reinforce your belief in miracles and opening yourself up to the abundant possibilities that life has to offer. Let positivity be the foundation upon which you build your dream life and watch as miracles begin to unfold. Magnetism does not waver in the face of obstacles, delays, or moments of uncertainty. It remains constant, anchored in a deep, unshakable belief that the desires you seek are already making their way to you, even if there is no outward sign of progress. True magnetism is about unwavering faith, a trust that the universe is always working in your favor, regardless of external circumstances. The key to activating and maintaining this magnetic force is to persist in your faith, even when everything seems to be moving slowly or nothing seems to be happening at all. One of the most powerful aspects of this persistent faith is the ability to trust in the unseen. Often when we don't see immediate results or when things aren't happening the way we expect them to, we can feel discouraged. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that nothing is working, but this is where your faith is truly tested. This is when the real magic begins, when you continue to trust in the process, even when there is no tangible evidence of your desires manifesting. Trusting that your miracle is already on its way requires you to let go of the need to control the how, when, and where of your manifestation. These details are beyond your reach. Your job is not to figure out how your desires will come to fruition, but to stay aligned with your vision, acting, thinking and feeling as though it has already been done. This means continuing to walk in faith, even in the absence of immediate results. Your faith does not rely on what you see with your physical eyes, but rather on your inner knowing that what you desire is already on its way. One of the challenges of maintaining faith during these quiet or uncertain moments is the human tendency to doubt. We live in a world that often values instant results and immediate gratification, but the law of attraction and manifestation does not work on a timeline that you can control. This requires a shift in perspective. When you persist in faith, you are essentially declaring that your desire is inevitable. It doesn't matter if it takes days, weeks, or months to materialize, the outcome is already assured because you are in alignment with it. You must learn to trust that the universe operates on its own timeline, one that is perfect and always in your favor. In moments of silence, when things seem to stand still, it is important to remember that energy is always in motion. Even if you cannot see the physical evidence of your desires unfolding, this doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Just as a seed grows underground before it pushes through the soil, your desires are being nurtured in unseen ways. During these times, it is essential to stay connected to your vision and continue to nurture your belief. Keep visualizing the outcome you desire. Keep acting as though it is already a reality, and continue to speak as though it has already happened. Faith is not just about waiting passively for something to happen, it is about embodying the feeling of your desire already being fulfilled. When you persist in faith, you carry yourself with the confidence and certainty that the universe is working in your favor. Even in moments of stillness, you know deep in your heart that your miracle is on its way. This persistent faith is magnetic because it signals to the universe that you are certain, unshakable, and open to receiving. It aligns you with the flow of abundance, knowing that what is meant for you will come to you at the perfect time. This faith does not mean that you stop taking inspired action. In fact, it amplifies it. When you are confident in the outcome and trust that your desires are already being fulfilled, you will feel more empowered to take bold steps toward your goals. These actions come from a place of trust, rather than desperation. Knowing that you are working in harmony with the universe, not against it. The universe is always in motion, and your actions, when fueled by faith, align you with its current. Persistence in faith also means not being disheartened by setbacks or delays. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen your belief. Instead of questioning your worth or doubting the process, view these obstacles as part of the path leading to your miracle. They are not signs that your desire is not coming, they are simply the universe's way of guiding you to where you need to be. Every experience, every moment of silence, is contributing to the unfolding of your dream. The power of unwavering faith lies in your ability to trust the process, even when the external world doesn't reflect the manifestation you desire. You must continue to act, think, and feel as though your miracle is already here, knowing that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring it into your life. Faith is the magnet that pulls your desires toward you, even in the moments when nothing seems to be happening. Trust that your miracle is on its way, and keep moving forward with the certainty that it is already done. In conclusion, becoming a magnet to miracles requires unwavering faith, consistent alignment with your desires, and an intentional focus on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. By embodying the belief that miracles are drawn to you, maintaining gratitude, visualizing with emotion, speaking with certainty, eliminating resistance, surrounding yourself with positivity, and persisting in faith, you create an unstoppable force that attracts the abundant life you desire. Remember, the universe is always working in your favor, and by trusting in the process, even when things seem still, you ensure that miracles are on their way to you. Thank you for taking the time to engage with this message. Keep believing, keep acting, and keep magnetizing the miracles that are destined for you. The life you desire is already on its way. Stay aligned and watch as it unfolds. Life is a journey, and every journey has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But have you ever wondered what it would look like to take every step of your journey hand in hand with the Creator of all things? Imagine a life where every decision, every action, every dream, and every challenge is aligned with divine purpose, a life where God is not just an idea or a distant presence, but the foundation, the guide, and the ultimate destination. Start with God, move with God, end with God is not just a statement. It's a philosophy that, if embraced, can transform your life in ways you never thought possible. It's an invitation to shift your perspective from chaos to clarity, from striving to trusting, and from self-reliance to divine partnership. Starting with God means you acknowledge the source of your existence, seeking wisdom and guidance from the one who knows the end from the beginning. Moving with God means you walk in faith, knowing that every step you take is directed by a higher power. And ending with God means you finish your race with the assurance that your life was lived for a greater purpose, leaving behind a legacy that transcends time. This idea is not about religion, it's about alignment. It's about recognizing the ultimate truth that you were created for a purpose. And when you align yourself with God, you unlock your highest potential. Too often, people try to figure everything out on their own. They strive, they plan, and they struggle, only to find themselves burned out and disillusioned. But there is another way, a way of peace, power, and purpose. As we dive deeper into this message, I'll share with you how this principle can change your life, why it's crucial to your success, and the practical steps to live it out. But first, let me ask you this: what if the missing piece to your breakthrough isn't more effort, more knowledge, or more connections, but simply surrendering to God's guidance? What if the life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you on the other side of that surrender? Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness. You've got a map in one hand and a compass in the other, but the terrain is unlike anything you've ever seen before. The sky is dark, the path is unclear, and fear begins to creep into your heart. Now imagine someone steps forward, a guide who knows every twist and turn, every challenge, and every shortcut in this wilderness. This guide promises to walk with you, to lead you to safety, and to take you beyond what you could ever achieve on your own. Would you trust them? Or would you insist on trying to navigate the wilderness alone? This is the very choice we face in life every day. The wilderness is your life's journey, filled with uncertainty, challenges, and opportunities. The guide? That's God, the one who created the wilderness and knows the path better than anyone. And the choice? That's yours. Will you start this journey alone, relying on your own limited understanding, or will you invite the Creator to walk with you? Most people hesitate. They think they need to prove themselves, to figure it out alone, to show the world they're strong and capable. But let me tell you a secret: true strength comes from surrender. The greatest victories are won when you stop trying to control everything and start trusting the one who controls it all. What if I told you that your struggles, your frustrations, and even your failures are signs that it's time to stop walking alone? What if the breakthroughs you've been praying for are waiting on one simple decision to start with God, move with God, and end with God? Today I want to take you on a journey. I want to show you how this principle isn't just inspiring words, but a practical, life-changing truth. Stay with me, because by the end of this message you'll see why starting, moving, and ending with God is the key to unlocking the life you were meant to live. Starting with God is not merely a suggestion, it is the most profound step you can take to set the trajectory of your life. When you begin any endeavor by anchoring yourself in prayer and seeking God's wisdom, you are laying a foundation that cannot be shaken. Prayer is not just an act of asking, it is a conversation, a communion, and an alignment with the divine. It is the moment where you step out of your limited understanding and into the infinite wisdom of the one who knows all things. In life, we often rush into decisions, propelled by ambition or urgency. We rely on our intellect, experience, or the advice of others, forgetting that there is a higher perspective available to us. This higher perspective sees not just the beginning but the end, not just the visible but also the hidden. When you start with God, you invite this perspective into your life, allowing His guidance to illuminate the path ahead. Think about the process of building a house. The foundation is the most critical part of the structure. It determines the stability, strength, and longevity of the entire building. Without a solid foundation, the house will crumble when storms come. Similarly, when you begin your endeavors with God, you are building your life on a foundation that is unshakable. It is a foundation of faith, trust, and divine assurance. The storms of life challenges, setbacks, and uncertainties may come, but they will not destroy what is rooted in God. Prayer is the starting point of this foundation. It is not about reciting words or following rituals. It is about opening your heart to God and inviting His presence into your plans. When you pray, you acknowledge that you are not the ultimate authority in your life. You recognize that there is one greater than you who holds the wisdom, strength, and clarity you need. This act of humility is powerful because it shifts the focus from self-reliance to divine dependence. Starting with God also means seeking His wisdom. The wisdom of God is unlike human wisdom. It transcends logic and often defies conventional understanding. There will be times when His guidance may not make sense to the natural mind, but it will lead you to outcomes far beyond what you could achieve on your own. When you seek God's wisdom, you are tapping into the source of all knowledge, understanding, and creativity. This wisdom equips you to make decisions that are not only right but also aligned with your purpose. But seeking God's wisdom is not a passive act. It requires a willingness to listen, to wait, and to trust. In our fast-paced world, waiting on God can feel counterintuitive. We are often tempted to act quickly, to take matters into our own hands. Yet the greatest breakthroughs often come when we pause, pray, and allow God to reveal His plan in His timing. Waiting on God is not about inactivity, it is about active faith, a confidence that He is working behind the scenes even when we cannot see it. Beginning with God also transforms how you perceive challenges. When God is your foundation, you approach obstacles with a different mindset. Instead of seeing them as barriers, you see them as opportunities for growth and divine intervention. You trust that God is working all things together for your good, even when the circumstances seem unfavorable. This perspective brings peace and assurance, enabling you to move forward with confidence. Starting with God does not mean that everything will always go according to your plans. On the contrary, there will be times when His plans diverge from yours. But here lies the beauty: God's plans are always better. They are higher, greater, and more fulfilling than anything you could conceive on your own. When you trust Him from the beginning, you position yourself to receive blessings that exceed your imagination. Starting with God sets the tone for the rest of your journey. It creates a pattern of dependency, where every step you take is guided by His hand. This dependency is not weakness, it is strength. It is the recognition that you are not walking alone, and that the Creator of the universe is actively involved in your life. Imagine embarking on a journey where you have a map, but it's incomplete. You might have an idea of where you want to go, but you lack the details of how to get there. Starting with God is like having the full map revealed, with every twist, turn, and destination clearly marked. It doesn't mean the journey will be free of challenges, but it does mean you will never be lost. When you begin with God, you invite Him to be an active participant in your story. You are no longer the sole architect of your life, you are co-creating with the one who designed you for greatness. This partnership is transformative, turning ordinary efforts into extraordinary outcomes. It is the foundation upon which a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment is built. So as you face each new day, each new challenge, and each new dream, remember to start with God. Let Him be the first step, the guiding light, and the unwavering foundation of everything you do. Aligning your vision with God's will is not about abandoning your dreams, it's about refining them. It's about recognizing that your life was created with purpose, and the fulfillment of that purpose lies in harmony with the divine plan. Too often, people chase ambitions that, while seemingly impressive, leave them feeling empty or dissatisfied. This is because those pursuits, no matter how grand, lack alignment with what they were truly meant to do. When your vision aligns with God's will, however, you step into a flow of grace, where your efforts are amplified, your direction is clear, and your outcomes have lasting significance. At the heart of alignment is surrender, not a surrender of effort, but of ego. It's the willingness to say, "Not my will, but yours be done." This doesn't mean you abandon your desires. Instead, it means inviting God into the process of shaping those desires. The truth is, many of the dreams placed in your heart were planted there by God Himself. They are seeds of divine intention, waiting to be nurtured and brought to life through your faith and action. But for these dreams to fully flourish, they must be cultivated in the soil of God's purpose. Alignment begins with seeking clarity. It requires you to ask, what is God calling me to do in this season of my life? This question shifts your focus from what you want to what He desires for you. And here's the remarkable part: God's desires for you are always greater than your own. They are not limited by fear, doubt, or human reasoning. They are expansive, transformative, and eternal. When you align your vision with His will, you open the door to a life that is not just successful by worldly standards, but deeply meaningful and fulfilling. But how do you align your vision with God's will? It starts with listening. Too often we are so consumed with our plans and aspirations that we forget to pause and listen to the one who holds the blueprint of our lives. Through prayer, meditation, and quiet reflection, you create space to hear His voice. This voice may come as a sense of peace, a sudden insight, or even a redirection of your plans. Pay attention to these moments. They are God's way of guiding you toward alignment. Next, it's essential to examine your motives. Why do you want what you want? Is it to serve your ego or to fulfill a greater purpose? Aligning with God's will often requires a shift in perspective, where the focus moves from self-centered goals to God-centered intentions. This doesn't mean you must abandon personal desires, but it does mean ensuring those desires contribute to something greater than yourself. For example, pursuing a career should not only be about personal success, but also about how that success can be used to uplift others and glorify God. Another critical aspect of alignment is trust. There will be times when God's will may not align with your immediate plans. In such moments, trust becomes essential. Trust that His plans are higher, even when you cannot fully understand them. Trust that delays are not denials, but divine timing at work. Trust that what He withholds is for your protection, and that what He provides is for your ultimate good. Trust transforms what could feel like frustration into faith, allowing you to move forward with confidence, even in uncertainty. Alignment also requires action. Once you've sought clarity, examined your motives, and placed your trust in God, it's time to act. God's will is not a passive force, it requires your participation. When your vision aligns with His will, you will find that the steps you take are met with divine favor. Opportunities arise, resources flow, and doors open that you could never have imagined. This is not to say that the path will always be easy. There will still be challenges, but even in those challenges, you'll sense His presence and guidance. One of the most beautiful outcomes of aligning your vision with God's will is the peace it brings. When you are in alignment, there is a profound sense of assurance that you are exactly where you're meant to be. You no longer feel the need to compare your journey with others or to strive endlessly for validation. Instead, you rest in the knowledge that your life is unfolding according to a divine plan. Aligning your vision with God's will creates a ripple effect. When you live a life aligned with divine purpose, it inspires and impacts those around you. Your actions, decisions, and successes become a testimony of God's power and faithfulness. You show others what is possible when they too choose to align their lives with something greater than themselves. Aligning your vision with God's will is not a sacrifice, it's a gift. It's the realization that true fulfillment comes not from pursuing your plans alone, but from partnering with the Creator of the universe. It's about stepping into the destiny you were created for and living a life that reflects His glory. When your vision aligns with His will, you not only achieve your dreams, you surpass them. entering into a purpose that is eternal, impactful, and uniquely yours. Moving with God means embracing a journey of faith, where trust replaces control and patience becomes your companion. It is a step-by-step process of surrendering your plans, desires, and timelines to a higher purpose. Walking in faith does not mean abandoning effort or sitting idly by. It means actively participating in the unfolding of God's plan while trusting His timing and wisdom. It is about letting go of the need to see every step ahead and relying on the one who knows the end from the beginning. Trusting the process starts with recognizing that life is not a series of random events but a divinely orchestrated sequence where every moment serves a purpose. Often we become impatient, wanting results on our terms and in our time. We struggle to let go of control because we fear uncertainty. But faith invites us to release that fear and embrace a greater truth that God's timing is perfect, even when it feels delayed. When you move with God, you begin to understand that every delay has meaning, every detour has purpose, and every challenge holds a lesson. Trusting the process means shifting your focus from the immediate to the eternal. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" you ask, "What am I meant to learn?" This shift in perspective transforms frustration into growth, disappointment into trust, and uncertainty into peace. Letting go of control is one of the most challenging aspects of faith. We are conditioned to believe that success comes from planning, strategizing, and working tirelessly. While effort is essential, there is a difference between diligent work and obsessive control. Moving with God requires you to release the illusion that you must have everything figured out. It's a reminder that you are not navigating life alone. There is a greater hand guiding you, a hand that sees what you cannot. Walking in faith also means accepting that God's ways are higher than ours. His plans often unfold in ways we do not expect, and His timing frequently challenges our patience. But His timing is never late, it is always exact. When you trust the process, you align yourself with divine timing, allowing events to unfold as they are meant to. This alignment creates a sense of peace, even in the midst of uncertainty, because you know that everything is happening according to a perfect plan. Faith is not passive, it requires action. Moving with God involves taking steps forward even when the path is unclear. It means doing what you can with what you have, trusting that God will provide the rest. Sometimes the next step is small and seemingly insignificant, but each step taken in faith brings you closer to the fulfillment of His purpose. It is like walking through a fog. Though you cannot see far ahead, each step reveals the next, and as you move, the path becomes clearer. Trusting the process also involves releasing the need for immediate results. In a world that values instant gratification, waiting can feel like a struggle. But waiting is not wasted time, it is preparation. In the waiting, God is shaping you, refining your character, and equipping you for what lies ahead. He is aligning circumstances, preparing opportunities, and ensuring that you are ready to receive His blessings. When you move with God, you trust that the waiting season has a purpose, and you remain faithful in it. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable on this journey, but they are not indicators of failure. They are opportunities to deepen your trust in God and to grow in resilience. Moving with God means acknowledging that even in difficulty, He is present and working for your good. The storms of life do not mean you have been abandoned. They are moments to lean into His strength and to discover a deeper reliance on Him. When you move with God, you also learn to celebrate the small victories along the way. Faith is not just about the destination, it is about the journey. Every step, no matter how small, is a testament to your trust in Him. Gratitude for the progress you've made creates a sense of joy and keeps you motivated to continue moving forward. Moving with God is an act of surrender and trust. It is a declaration that you believe in His goodness, His faithfulness, and His perfect timing. It is a commitment to walk by faith and not by sight, knowing that He is leading you towards something greater than you could imagine. By trusting the process, you free yourself from the burden of control and open yourself to the peace, joy, and fulfillment that comes from walking in alignment with His will. Each step you take with God is a step closer to your purpose, your growth, and His promises for your life. Trust the process, for it is in this trust that you find strength, assurance, and the beauty of a journey guided by divine hands. Life is full of challenges, some expected and others that catch us completely off guard. In these moments, it's natural to rely on your own strength to push through. However, there comes a time when even your greatest efforts feel insufficient, when the weight of the obstacle seems too heavy to bear. This is where the transformative power of seeking God's strength becomes essential. Instead of depending solely on yourself, you learn to lean on the one who is all-powerful, whose strength is infinite and unfailing. Relying on God's strength does not mean abandoning your own efforts, but recognizing their limitations. It's understanding that you were never meant to carry life's burdens alone. God invites you to cast your cares upon Him, to bring your struggles, fears, and doubts to His feet. In doing so, you access a reservoir of power that is far greater than anything you could muster on your own. His strength doesn't just support you, it empowers you to overcome. When you face challenges, the first step in seeking God's strength is to acknowledge your need for Him. This requires humility, admitting that you cannot do it all on your own. Our culture often celebrates self-reliance and independence, but faith calls you to a higher truth, that your greatest victories come not through striving alone, but through surrendering to God. This surrender is not an act of weakness, it is a profound act of trust. It says, I believe that God is bigger than my challenges, and I trust Him to lead me through them. Prayer becomes a vital tool in this process. When you turn to God in prayer, you invite His presence into your situation. It is not about presenting Him with a list of demands, but about seeking His wisdom, guidance, and strength. Through prayer, you align your heart with His, gaining clarity and peace, even in the midst of difficulty. The act of praying itself is a reminder that you are not alone, that the Creator of the universe is walking with you, offering His strength to sustain you. Scripture is another source of strength. The Bible is filled with promises that assure you of God's faithfulness. Passages like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, Philippians 4:13, or the Lord is my strength and my shield. Psalm 28:7 remind you that His power is available to you in every circumstance. Meditating on these truths reinforces your faith and gives you the courage to keep moving forward. When you rely on God's strength, you begin to see challenges differently. Instead of viewing them as insurmountable obstacles, you see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. God often uses challenges to refine you, to teach you perseverance, and to deepen your trust in Him. What may seem like a setback is, in His hands, a setup for something greater. By relying on His strength, you shift your perspective, focusing not on the size of the problem, but on the greatness of your God. It's also important to remember that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. This means that when you feel the most inadequate, He is able to work in and through you in extraordinary ways. Your limitations become a platform for His power. When you stop trying to do everything on your own and allow Him to take control, you open the door for miracles. His strength enables you to do what you could never do alone. Seeking God's strength doesn't eliminate the struggle, but it changes the way you experience it. Instead of being overwhelmed, you find peace in the midst of the storm. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, you move forward with confidence. This is because you know you are not relying on your own finite abilities, but on the limitless power of God. Community is another way God's strength is made available to you. He often uses people to support and encourage you during difficult times. When you share your burdens with trusted friends or family members who share your faith, you allow God's strength to flow through them into your life. They become instruments of His grace, offering wisdom, comfort, and practical help when you need it most. Seeking God's strength is about developing a relationship with Him that sustains you through every season of life. It's about trusting that He is both willing and able to help you, no matter how daunting the challenge. This trust is built over time as you experience His faithfulness again and again. Each victory, no matter how small, becomes a testament to His power and a reminder that you can face whatever comes your way with Him by your side. Life's challenges are inevitable, but they do not have to defeat you. By seeking God's strength, you tap into a source of power that is greater than anything this world can offer. You find the courage to face difficulties, the resilience to endure, and the hope to keep believing. When obstacles arise, let them drive you closer to God, for it is in His strength that you will find the victory. Gratitude is one of the most transformative attitudes you can cultivate on your journey through life. It shifts your perspective from what you lack to what you already have, illuminating the abundance of blessings around you. Gratitude is not simply a response to favorable circumstances, it is a choice, an intentional decision to focus on the goodness of God, even in the midst of challenges. When you stay grateful, you open your heart to receive even more of God's blessings, as gratitude aligns your thoughts and emotions with the abundance He has already provided. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's easy to focus on what's missing or what isn't going as planned. This focus on lack often leads to frustration, anxiety, or even despair. However, gratitude interrupts this cycle. It redirects your attention to the ways in which God has already been faithful in your life. Each breath you take, each sunrise you witness, and each opportunity you encounter is a testament to His goodness. Recognizing these blessings creates a profound sense of contentment and peace. Practicing gratitude begins with awareness. It's about pausing in your day to acknowledge the small and large gifts that fill your life. A kind word from a friend, the beauty of nature, the ability to work and create, all of these are reasons to give thanks. Often these everyday blessings are taken for granted, but when you intentionally reflect on them, you begin to see how richly blessed you truly are. Gratitude awakens you to the miracles woven into your daily life. Beyond just noticing your blessings, gratitude is also about expressing thanks. Whether through prayer, journaling, or verbal acknowledgement, taking the time to thank God for His provision deepens your connection with Him. It's a way of saying, I see your hand in my life, and I trust you. This trust is essential on the journey, as it reminds you that the same God who has provided for you in the past will continue to guide and sustain you in the future. Gratitude is particularly powerful during difficult times. When challenges arise, it's natural to focus on the struggle and feel overwhelmed. Yet even in these moments, there is always something to be thankful for. Perhaps it's the strength to endure, the lessons being learned, or the people who support you. Gratitude during adversity is not about denying the difficulty, but about finding the silver linings and recognizing God's presence in the storm. This shift in focus can transform your experience, replacing despair with hope and fear with faith. One of the most beautiful aspects of gratitude is that it multiplies joy. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you begin to see more and more reasons to give thanks. This positive cycle creates a sense of abundance, as you realize how much you have been given. Gratitude fosters contentment, making you less likely to compare your journey with others or to yearn for what you don't have. Instead, you find fulfillment in what God has already provided. Gratitude also strengthens your relationship with God. When you express thanks, you draw closer to Him, acknowledging His role as the source of all blessings. This deepens your faith as you become more attuned to His presence and provision. Gratitude is an act of worship, a way of honoring God and affirming your trust in His plan. Another remarkable effect of gratitude is its ability to inspire generosity. When you recognize how much you have been blessed, you naturally want to share those blessings with others. Gratitude moves you to give, to serve, and to uplift those around you. It shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, enabling you to be a channel of God's grace to others. In this way, gratitude not only enriches your own life, but also creates a ripple effect of positivity and blessing. Staying grateful requires consistency. It's easy to be thankful when things are going well, but true gratitude is a discipline that must be practiced daily. One effective way to cultivate this habit is to keep a gratitude journal, where you list 3 things you're thankful for each day. Over time, this practice rewires your mindset, training you to look for the good in every situation. Even on the hardest days, you'll find that there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude also has a profound impact on your emotional and mental well-being. Studies have shown that those who practice gratitude regularly experience greater happiness, reduced stress, and improved relationships. This is because gratitude shifts your focus from negativity to positivity, fostering a sense of hope and resilience. When you choose to stay grateful, you create an atmosphere of joy and peace in your life. Gratitude is a response to God's unfailing love and faithfulness. It is a declaration that no matter what the journey holds, you trust in His goodness and provision. Staying grateful doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means recognizing that even in the midst of difficulties, God's blessings abound. When you live with a grateful heart, you not only honor God but also unlock the fullness of life He has promised. Gratitude transforms your journey, turning it into a celebration of His abundant grace. As you journey through life, the way you finish holds profound significance. The end of your journey is not merely about completing tasks or achieving goals. It is about finishing strong with a heart full of purpose, faith, and love. It is about living in such a way that when the final chapter is written, your life stands as a testimony to the goodness of God, a legacy that inspires others to walk in faith and love long after you are gone. To end with God is to ensure that your final steps are guided by the same divine presence that has led you all along. Living with the end in mind does not mean dwelling on mortality, rather. It means embracing each day as an opportunity to reflect God's love and purpose in the world. It is a call to live intentionally, with the understanding that your life is part of a greater story. Every choice, every interaction, every act of kindness contributes to the legacy you leave behind. To end with God is to make every moment count, ensuring that your journey is marked by faithfulness and integrity. One of the most powerful ways to end with God is by staying rooted in your purpose. Purpose is the compass that guides your actions and decisions, helping you remain focused on what truly matters. When you live with purpose, you align your life with God's will, seeking to glorify Him in all that you do. Purpose gives your journey meaning, transforming even mundane tasks into acts of service and worship. It ensures that your life is not only productive but also impactful, leaving a lasting imprint on those around you. Faith is another essential element of finishing strong. Throughout your journey, faith sustains you, giving you the strength to overcome challenges and the courage to keep moving forward. As you near the end, faith takes on an even deeper significance, anchoring you in the hope of God's promises. It reminds you that your life is not defined by earthly achievements, but by your relationship with Him. Faith empowers you to face the unknown with confidence, trusting that God's plan is perfect and that His grace is sufficient. Ending with God also means cultivating a legacy of love. Love is the greatest commandment and the ultimate expression of God's character. When you choose to live a life of love, loving God, loving others, and loving yourself, you reflect His light in the world. Love transcends time and space, leaving an indelible mark on those who experience it. By choosing to love generously, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your lifetime, touching hearts and transforming lives. Leaving a legacy of love requires intentionality. It means prioritizing relationships over material possessions, valuing people over achievements, and seeking to uplift rather than compete. It's about making time for those you care about, offering a listening ear, and showing compassion even when it's inconvenient. Acts of love, no matter how small, have the power to change the course of someone's life. When you live with love at the center, you leave a legacy that speaks of God's grace and goodness. Another important aspect of ending with God is embracing the peace that comes from Him. Life's journey is filled with trials, but when you walk with God, you carry His peace with you. This peace is not dependent on circumstances. It is a deep, abiding assurance that He is with you, guiding you and holding you in His hands. As you near the end of your journey, this peace becomes a source of comfort and strength, allowing you to reflect on your life with gratitude rather than regret. Ending with God also means inspiring others to follow Him. Your journey is not just about your own growth and fulfillment, it is about pointing others to the source of true life. By living authentically and faithfully, you become a beacon of hope, showing others what it means to walk with God. Your words, actions, and attitude can plant seeds of faith in the hearts of those around you, encouraging them to seek Him for themselves. As you consider the legacy you want to leave, remember that it is not about perfection but about perseverance. To end with God is to finish the race, no matter how many times you stumble along the way. It is to remain faithful, even when the path is difficult, and to trust in His strength when yours falters. God's grace is sufficient and His love is unwavering. When you lean on Him, He ensures that your journey ends in victory. To end with God is to finish your journey with a heart full of gratitude and a life that glorifies Him. It is to stand at the end, knowing that you have given your best, loved deeply, and walked faithfully. It is to hear the words, "Well done, good and faithful servant." This is the reward of a life lived with purpose, faith, and love. It is the culmination of a journey guided by His hand and sustained by His grace. When you end with God, you leave behind not only a legacy but also a roadmap for others to follow, a life that points to Him. A life centered on God is a life anchored in peace. This peace transcends the circumstances of life and provides stability even in the most turbulent times. When you place your trust and your focus in God, you invite a sense of calm and serenity into your heart, regardless of what is happening around you. This peace is not the absence of trouble or hardship, but rather the presence of a divine assurance that God is in control. It is the deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing that no matter how stormy life becomes, you are never alone, and you are always held in the hands of a loving and faithful God. In the midst of life's chaos, peace often seems elusive. The world around us constantly bombards us with challenges, uncertainties, and fears. Yet when you choose to center your life on God, you choose to trust in His plan, His timing, and His provision. This trust fosters a sense of inner peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. It is a peace that comes from knowing that God is sovereign and that He is working all things together for your good, even when you cannot see how or why. When you make God your source of peace, you learn to surrender your worries and anxieties to Him. You recognize that you do not have to bear the weight of the world on your own shoulders. Instead, you can cast your cares on Him, knowing that He cares for you. This surrender does not mean that you ignore your problems or pretend they don't exist. Rather, it means you acknowledge that God is greater than any challenge you face. You let go of the need to control every outcome and trust that He will guide you through each difficulty with wisdom and grace. The peace that comes from God is not fleeting or conditional. Unlike the temporary calm that might come from external circumstances, God's peace is constant and reliable. It is rooted in His unchanging nature and His promises, which are sure and steadfast. When you center your life on Him, you tap into this eternal peace that never fails, no matter how unpredictable life may be. This peace becomes a refuge, a place of rest and comfort that you can return to again and again. In times of distress, you can quiet your heart, knowing that God is your source of peace and that His presence will calm your soul. This peace also empowers you to respond differently to the stresses and challenges of life. Instead of reacting with anxiety, fear, or frustration, you are able to approach life's difficulties with a sense of calm and confidence. You begin to trust that even in the hardest moments, God's grace is sufficient, and He will provide everything you need to navigate through the storm. This peace enables you to make decisions with clarity, to act with patience, and to carry yourself with the kind of steady confidence that comes from knowing you are grounded in God's love and guidance. Living in the peace of God also invites a deeper connection with Him. The more you seek His presence, the more His peace becomes evident in your life. Prayer, worship, and quiet moments of reflection help you center your thoughts and emotions on Him, grounding you in the reality that He is always near. The more you experience God's peace, the more you recognize its transformative power. You begin to see that true peace is not found in external circumstances, but in the assurance that God is with you, guiding you and providing for you. The peace that comes from God affects every aspect of your life. It influences your relationships, your work, your health, and your outlook on life. As you experience His peace, you become a source of peace to those around you. You are able to extend compassion, kindness, and understanding to others because you are not driven by the same anxieties and stresses that often characterize human interaction. Instead of being overwhelmed by the pressure of life, you are able to bring a sense of calm and clarity to situations, creating an environment where peace can flourish. In addition, the peace of God guards your heart and mind. In times of trouble, it protects you from despair, doubt, and fear. It guards against the negative thoughts that would otherwise take root in your mind, filling you with uncertainty. With God's peace, you are able to hold on to hope, to stay rooted in faith, and to trust in His promises, no matter what challenges you may face. It becomes a shield that protects your spirit, helping you to remain steadfast and unshaken in your trust in God. A life centered on God is a life that is filled with peace, a peace that defies circumstances and overcomes the challenges of life. When you let God be your source of peace, you invite His presence into every aspect of your life. His peace becomes your anchor, your refuge, and your strength. It is the kind of peace that transforms you from the inside out, helping you to navigate life's difficulties with grace, calm, and confidence. No matter what storms come your way, you can rest in the assurance that God's peace will sustain you, guiding you through every trial and bringing you closer to His perfect plan. The ultimate purpose of life is not defined by personal success, material gain, or individual achievements, but by our ability to reflect God's love to others. As beings created in the image of God, our lives are meant to be a living testament to His love, grace, and mercy. Reflecting God's love to others is the truest form of glorifying Him, for in loving others as He has loved us, we fulfill the deepest calling of our hearts and the very reason for our existence. To reflect God's love is to understand that love is not just a feeling but an action. It is the willingness to serve others, to show kindness in the face of unkindness, and to offer compassion even when it is not deserved. Love is not confined to those who love us in return, but extends to all, especially those who may be difficult to love. God's love for us is unconditional, and when we reflect that love, we extend it without strings attached, without expecting anything in return. This unconditional love has the power to change lives, to heal wounds, and to restore broken relationships. When we reflect God's love to others, we carry the essence of His character. God's love is patient, kind, and long-suffering. It does not boast, nor is it proud. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. This is the love that we are called to reflect. It is a love that looks beyond imperfections and sees the potential in others. It is a love that forgives, that offers second chances, and that seeks reconciliation rather than division. To reflect God's love is to be a channel of His grace, allowing His compassion to flow through us and touch the lives of everyone we encounter. Our actions, words, and attitudes are the reflections of God's love in the world. When we choose to show kindness, speak with gentleness, and act with humility, we are revealing a heart that is aligned with God's will. This does not mean that we live perfect lives, but it means that we strive to embody His love in our daily interactions. Even when we are faced with challenges, trials, or difficult people, we have the opportunity to demonstrate God's love through our responses. When we reflect His love, we invite others to see a glimpse of who He is, His grace, His mercy, and His goodness. Through our love, others come to know the God who loves them unconditionally. Reflecting God's love also means being a servant to those around us. True love manifests in serving others selflessly. Jesus Himself demonstrated the ultimate act of love through His life of service. He washed the feet of His disciples, healed the sick, and sacrificed His life for all of humanity. In doing so, He showed us that love is about putting others before ourselves, seeking to lift them up, rather than expecting to be lifted up. When we reflect God's love, we move beyond self-interest and step into the realm of selflessness, offering our time, resources, and energy to care for those in need. Serving others is an expression of love that reflects God's heart and glorifies Him in profound ways. Reflecting God's love requires a heart of humility. It involves recognizing that we are not the source of love, but that it flows through us from God. Love is a gift that we cannot earn, but one that is freely given to us by our Creator. To reflect God's love, we must first receive it in its fullness. This requires humility and openness to God's love and a willingness to allow it to transform us from the inside out. When we allow God's love to fill our hearts, it overflows into the lives of those around us. It becomes a living testimony of His grace, and it glorifies Him by showing others the depth of His love. At the heart of reflecting God's love is the command to love one another. Jesus said, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another." John 13:34. This is the essence of God's will for our lives, to love one another as He has loved us. It is in our loving relationships that we glorify God the most. When we love others with a love that mirrors God's love for us, we reflect His character and His heart to the world. This love is transformative. It heals brokenness, brings reconciliation, and creates unity. It is the foundation of all meaningful relationships and the cornerstone of a life that honors God. To reflect God's love is also to live a life of intentionality. We must choose to love others even when it's difficult. It requires effort, sacrifice, and sometimes discomfort, but it is the most powerful way to glorify God. Love requires action. It moves us to serve, to forgive, to encourage, and to uplift. When we reflect God's love, we allow His presence to dwell within us and to guide our actions. Our love becomes a light in a dark world, drawing others to the source of all love, God Himself. The ultimate purpose of life is to glorify God by loving and serving others. Reflecting God's love is not a mere act of kindness, but a way of life, a choice to embody His grace and mercy in every aspect of our being. When we love others as God has loved us, we fulfill the purpose for which we were created and become living testimonies of His love, drawing others to Him through our words, actions, and attitudes. Reflecting God's love is the highest calling we can embrace, for it is through love that we most powerfully reveal God's heart to the world. In conclusion, living a life centered on God, beginning with Him, moving with Him, and ending with Him, is the highest calling we can pursue. It is in aligning our hearts and actions with God's will that we discover true peace, strength, and purpose. By reflecting His love to others, we become vessels of His grace, spreading light and hope in a world that desperately needs it. We are reminded that life is not about our own achievements, but about glorifying God through our faith, trust, and service to others. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of how to live a life with God at the center. May these words inspire and empower you to trust in His guidance, move in His direction, and live in the fullness of His love. Stay blessed, and always remember, when you start with God, move with God, and end with God, you are living a life that reflects His glory and brings true fulfillment. Thank you.
Let me ask you something. How much is your peace worth? Your self-respect? Your soul's well-being? You see, love isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding a partnership that honors and elevates who you are. But sometimes we stay in situations that tear us apart piece by piece, thinking, maybe they'll change. Maybe I should give them another chance. There are lines that, once crossed, should never be forgiven. Not because you're weak, not because you're bitter, but because you're protecting the most sacred parts of who you are. So if your partner has done these 5 things, it's time to stop hoping for change and start walking away. Trust is the invisible thread that holds relationships together, weaving security, respect, and emotional intimacy into a seamless bond. Without trust, even the strongest love can falter, because trust is the foundation upon which everything else stands. When that foundation is broken, the cracks ripple through every aspect of the relationship, making it fragile and unstable. No matter how much love exists between 2 people, the absence of trust reduces the relationship to a shadow of its former self, a mere shell that cannot withstand the weight of life's challenges. When trust is intact, it creates a sense of safety and openness. You feel comfortable being vulnerable, sharing your fears, your dreams, and your flaws, knowing that the other person will protect your heart rather than exploit it. Trust is what allows love to grow freely without fear or hesitation. It's the assurance that the person you've chosen will stand by you, honor their promises, and consider your feelings even when times get tough. Without that assurance, love becomes tainted by doubt, anxiety, and suspicion. The loss of trust doesn't happen all at once. It's often eroded bit by bit through lies, broken promises, or betrayals. Each small breach chips away at the foundation, making it harder to rebuild. When someone lies to you, they're not just deceiving you in the moment, they're planting a seed of doubt that grows into a tangled vine, choking the trust you once had. Even if the lie seems minor, it opens the door for questions. What else are they hiding? Can I believe what they say? Do I know this person as well as I thought I did? These questions don't just affect how you see them, they also affect how you see yourself in the relationship. Betrayal, whether it comes in the form of infidelity, dishonesty, or neglect, is the ultimate breach of trust. It shatters the illusion of safety and forces you to confront a painful truth. The person you trusted most has disregarded your feelings, your worth, and your shared bond. Betrayal isn't just about the act itself, it's about the ripple effect it creates. Suddenly you find yourself questioning everything. Were the good times real? Was their love genuine? Can they ever truly change? These doubts can be paralyzing, making it nearly impossible to move forward. Rebuilding trust after it has been shattered is an uphill battle, and not everyone has the strength or the will to make it to the top. It requires honesty, consistency, and an unwavering commitment from both partners. The one who broke the trust must take full responsibility for their actions and work tirelessly to prove their sincerity, while the one who was hurt must find a way to forgive and let go of the resentment. But even with the best intentions, the process is fraught with challenges. Every misstep, every unintentional trigger can reignite the pain and undo months of progress. For some, the effort to rebuild trust is worth it, especially if the love is strong and the betrayal was an isolated incident. But for others, the damage is simply too great. Once trust is broken, it changes the dynamics of the relationship forever. The carefree intimacy that once existed is replaced by caution, and the joy of being together is overshadowed by the fear of being hurt again. Even if you manage to stay together, the relationship may never feel the same. Trust is the essence of a healthy, thriving relationship. It allows love to flourish, creating a bond that can weather life's storms. When that trust is shattered, the relationship loses its foundation, leaving it vulnerable to collapse. While forgiveness is possible, and some bonds can be mended, the reality is that a relationship without trust is like a house built on sand. No matter how beautiful it appears on the surface, it cannot stand the test of time. Respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, the invisible force that nurtures love, trust, and mutual understanding. It goes beyond polite gestures or kind words. It's about honoring each other's individuality, boundaries, and worth. Respect creates a safe space where both partners feel valued, heard, and supported. Without it, the very fabric of the relationship begins to unravel, leaving behind feelings of resentment, frustration, and unworthiness. Disrespect, in any form, should never be tolerated or excused, because it undermines the core principles of love and partnership. When respect is present, it fosters an environment of equality and harmony. It ensures that both partners recognize and celebrate each other's uniqueness without attempting to diminish or control it. Respect allows you to disagree without devaluing one another, to confront challenges without resorting to cruelty, and to grow individually without fear of judgment. It's the quiet acknowledgement of each other's humanity, the unspoken agreement to treat one another with care and dignity. Disrespect can manifest in many ways, some subtle and others glaringly obvious. It might be a dismissive comment, a sarcastic tone, or outright insults meant to belittle or demean. It could be ignoring your partner's feelings, constantly interrupting them, or invalidating their opinions. These behaviors, though they may seem minor in isolation, accumulate over time, chipping away at the foundation of the relationship. The harm isn't just in the words or actions themselves, it's in the message they send: you don't matter as much as I do. More overt forms of disrespect, such as name-calling, yelling, or public humiliation, are even more damaging. They strip away a person's confidence and sense of security, leaving behind scars that are often difficult to heal. These acts don't just hurt in the moment, they linger, creating a toxic environment where love cannot thrive. A relationship riddled with disrespect becomes a battleground rather than a sanctuary, a place where one or both partners feel constantly attacked or undermined. One of the most insidious aspects of disrespect is its ability to erode self-worth. When you tolerate disrespect, even inadvertently, you send a message to yourself and your partner that such behavior is acceptable. Over time, this can lead to a cycle where disrespect becomes normalized, and your sense of what you deserve begins to diminish. You may start questioning your own value, wondering if you're the problem, or if your feelings are overreactions. This is the trap of disrespect that convinces you to settle for less than you're worth. Excusing disrespect often stems from a fear of conflict or a desire to preserve the relationship at all costs. But in doing so, you're not saving the relationship, you're enabling its deterioration. Tolerating disrespect doesn't make you strong, or forgiving it makes you complicit in your own unhappiness. True strength lies in setting boundaries and demanding the respect you deserve, even if it means facing difficult conversations or, in some cases, walking away. Respect is non-negotiable because it is the foundation upon which everything else in a relationship is built. Without it, love loses its purity, trust becomes fragile, and communication breaks down. A partner who truly values you will never resort to disrespect, even in moments of anger or frustration. They will recognize that respect is not just a courtesy, but a reflection of their commitment to you and the relationship. To excuse or tolerate disrespect is to betray yourself. It's to ignore your own needs and well-being for the sake of maintaining a relationship that, by its very nature, is harming you. No amount of love can compensate for a lack of respect, because love without respect is not love at all. It's control, manipulation, or convenience. Walking away from a relationship where disrespect is present isn't an act of defeat, it's an act of self-preservation. It's a declaration that you will not settle for anything less than what you deserve. Respect isn't a luxury or a bonus, it's the bare minimum. And if it's not there, the relationship is not worth keeping. Actions speak louder than words, a truth that becomes especially evident in relationships. Words can be powerful and persuasive, but they are ultimately empty without the actions to back them up. Promises, no matter how heartfelt or eloquent, mean nothing if the behavior of the person making them consistently contradicts their declarations. In a healthy relationship, actions and words align, creating a foundation of trust, consistency, and reliability. When actions betray words, however, the bond between two people is undermined, leaving behind confusion, disappointment, and a growing sense of disillusionment. Promises are easy to make. They often come in moments of heightened emotion, where someone might say what they believe the other person wants to hear or what they wish were true. I'll change, I'll do better, or I'll never hurt you again. Can be comforting to hear. But the true test lies in whether those promises translate into genuine, sustained effort. When actions repeatedly fail to support those words, the promises become hollow, eroding trust and leaving the listener skeptical of anything said in the future. Consistency between words and actions is vital in building trust. Imagine a partner who promises to always prioritize the relationship but consistently neglects your needs, fails to communicate, or disregards your feelings. Over time, the disparity between what they say and what they do creates emotional turmoil. You begin to doubt not only their promises but also their intentions and commitment. It's not just the broken promises that hurt, it's the realization that their words were never anchored in genuine effort or respect for the relationship. Actions reveal a person's true character and priorities. Someone who truly values the relationship will show it through their behavior by being present, attentive, and reliable. They don't just say they care, they demonstrate it in tangible ways. They follow through on their commitments, no matter how small, and take accountability when they fall short. In contrast, someone whose actions consistently contradict their words sends a clear message their promises are not a reflection of their values or intentions, but rather a tool to placate or manipulate. It's important to recognize the difference between an occasional slip-up and a consistent pattern of broken promises. Everyone makes mistakes, and life's challenges can sometimes get in the way of fulfilling even the most well-intentioned promises. What matters in those moments is how the person responds. Do they take responsibility, apologize, and make a genuine effort to do better? Or do they offer excuses, deflect blame, and continue the same behavior? A partner's response to their own shortcomings speaks volumes about their respect for you and the relationship. Continuing to accept empty promises can lead to a damaging cycle. The person making the promises learns that their words are enough to maintain the relationship, even if their actions don't change. Meanwhile, the person on the receiving end becomes trapped in a pattern of hope and disappointment, holding on to the belief that this time things will be different. Over time, this dynamic can take a toll on self-esteem, fostering feelings of unworthiness and frustration. Breaking free from this cycle requires setting clear boundaries and holding the other person accountable for their actions. It means refusing to settle for words alone and demanding the consistency and respect you deserve. While it's natural to want to believe in someone's promises, especially when love is involved, it's essential to prioritize your own well-being and emotional health. A partner who truly values you will understand that their actions need to align with their words and will make the effort to earn your trust. Actions are the truest measure of a person's intentions and commitment. Words can be persuasive, but they are fleeting, while actions leave a lasting impact. When someone consistently betrays their promises through their behavior, they show you who they truly are. It's up to you to believe them, even if their words try to tell a different story. Love, respect, and trust thrive in consistency, and a relationship where actions and words align is one worth investing in. Knowing your worth is one of the most empowering realizations you can have, especially in relationships. It's the recognition that you deserve to be valued, respected, and treated with dignity. When someone repeatedly undervalues you, whether through their actions, words, or lack of appreciation, it's a clear indication that they are not capable of recognizing your true value. Staying in such a situation diminishes your self-esteem, compromises your happiness, and chips away at your sense of self-respect. Walking away is not an act of giving up. It's a courageous step toward preserving your dignity and embracing the worth you know you possess. When you're in a relationship where you are undervalued, the signs often manifest subtly at first. It might begin with small dismissive comments, a lack of gratitude for your efforts, or consistently putting their needs above yours. Over time, these patterns become more pronounced and you find yourself feeling unimportant or taken for granted. You start questioning your own value because the person who should be uplifting you seems to be doing the opposite. This erosion of self-worth is one of the most toxic effects of being undervalued in a relationship. A partner who truly values you will make an effort to show it in both big and small ways. They will listen to you, celebrate your successes, and stand by you in moments of difficulty. They will respect your boundaries, honor your feelings, and contribute to the relationship with the same enthusiasm and care that you do. On the other hand, someone who undervalues you will do the opposite. They'll dismiss your concerns, minimize your achievements, and expect you to compromise constantly while they give little in return. One of the most insidious aspects of being undervalued is the gradual normalization of the behavior. You might begin to make excuses for their actions, convincing yourself that they're busy, stressed, or simply unaware of how they're treating you. While it's natural to want to see the best in someone you care about, ignoring consistent patterns of undervaluing behavior can lead to a cycle of emotional neglect. Each time you overlook their disregard for your worth, you unintentionally send the message that their behavior is acceptable. Recognizing your worth is about understanding that you are deserving of love, respect, and reciprocity. It's about realizing that your feelings, opinions, and contributions matter. When you hold this belief firmly, it becomes easier to identify when someone is not treating you in alignment with your value. You begin to see that staying in a situation where you are undervalued is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a reflection of their inability to appreciate it. Walking away from someone who undervalues you is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you refuse to settle for less than what you deserve. This decision can be difficult, especially if you've invested time, energy, and emotion into the relationship. However, it's important to remember that staying in an environment where you are undervalued will only prolong your unhappiness and prevent you from finding the love and respect you deserve. Choosing to leave doesn't mean you don't care about the person. It means you care about yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. It's about understanding that your value isn't determined by how someone else treats you, but by how you view and treat yourself. When you walk away, you're not only protecting your dignity, but also creating space for someone who will genuinely appreciate and cherish you. The process of reclaiming your worth begins with self-reflection. Acknowledge your strengths, celebrate your achievements, and remind yourself of the unique qualities that make you who you are. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, and distance yourself from those who make you feel small. By doing so, you reaffirm your commitment to living a life that aligns with your value. Knowing your worth means refusing to tolerate anything less than respect, love, and appreciation. It means understanding that being undervalued is not a reflection of you, but of the other person's inability to recognize your greatness. And it means having the courage to walk away when necessary, not out of bitterness or anger, but out of love for yourself and the future you deserve. Patterns are powerful indicators of a person's true character. While a single mistake can be forgiven as an isolated error, a consistent pattern of betrayal or harm reveals much more about who someone is at their core. Patterns do not lie, they provide undeniable evidence of behavior and intent over time. When someone repeatedly engages in actions that hurt or undermine you, it's no longer about a moment of poor judgment. It's a reflection of their values, priorities, and ultimately their character. Recognizing and addressing these patterns is crucial for protecting your emotional well-being and dignity. In relationships, everyone makes mistakes. Misunderstandings happen, tempers flare, and poor decisions are sometimes made. What separates a genuine mistake from a pattern is how the person responds afterward. Do they acknowledge their wrongdoing, take accountability, and make an effort to improve? Or do they brush it off, repeat the behavior, and offer empty apologies? A single incident can be explained or excused, but repeated harmful actions signal a deeper issue that cannot be ignored. When faced with a consistent pattern of betrayal, it's tempting to hold on to the hope that things will change. Love and emotional attachment can cloud judgment, leading you to rationalize the other person's actions or give them the benefit of the doubt. You might tell yourself, "This time is different," or "They didn't mean it," even when their behavior repeatedly contradicts those beliefs. However, ignoring patterns only prolongs the pain and prevents you from seeing the situation for what it truly is. Patterns also reveal a person's priorities. Someone who repeatedly betrays your trust, disrespects your boundaries, or fails to honor their commitments shows where their true focus lies. If their actions consistently prioritize their own desires or convenience over your well-being, it becomes clear that they are unwilling or unable to put the relationship first. While their words may promise change, their repeated behavior speaks volumes about their true intentions. Trust is often the first casualty of repeated harmful patterns. Each instance of betrayal chips away at the foundation of the relationship, leaving you feeling uncertain, insecure, and unvalued. Over time, the emotional toll becomes overwhelming. You find yourself questioning not only the other person's intentions, but also your own judgment for staying in the situation. This erosion of trust is not easily repaired, especially when the other person continues to demonstrate the same damaging behavior. It's important to recognize that consistent patterns of harm are not accidental. They are deliberate choices, whether conscious or unconscious, made by the person engaging in them. While they may offer excuses, blame external factors, or minimize their actions, The reality is that they have chosen to behave in a way that hurts you. Accepting this truth can be painful, but it's also liberating. It allows you to stop searching for excuses or justifications and start prioritizing your own well-being. Breaking free from a relationship characterized by harmful patterns requires courage and self-awareness. It means acknowledging that the other person's behavior is unlikely to change, no matter how much you hope or try to help them. It also means recognizing that staying in such a relationship comes at the cost of your emotional health and happiness. Walking away is not a failure, it's an act of self-respect and a commitment to seeking the love and respect you deserve. Once you recognize a pattern for what it is, the decision to leave becomes clearer. While love may complicate matters, it's important to remember that love should never come at the expense of your dignity or peace of mind. True love is rooted in mutual respect, trust, and kindness, qualities that cannot coexist with a pattern of betrayal or harm. Patterns do not lie. They reveal the truth about a person's character and their capacity for change. When someone shows you through repeated actions who they are, believe them. Protecting your heart and your future means paying attention to these patterns and having the strength to walk away when necessary. By doing so, you honor yourself and create space for relationships that uplift and nurture you, rather than tear you down. Love, in its truest form, is a force that elevates and empowers. It is not something that diminishes you, breaks your spirit, or leaves you questioning your worth. A genuine partnership should inspire you to grow, heal, and flourish. It should be a safe space where you can be your authentic self, free from fear or judgment. Anything less than this is not love. It is a compromise that slowly chips away at your sense of self and your happiness. Recognizing the difference between love that elevates and love that harms is essential for your emotional and mental well-being. A loving relationship should be a partnership of equals, where both individuals encourage each other to pursue their dreams, overcome challenges, and become the best versions of themselves. When love is genuine, it is characterized by mutual respect, support, and understanding. Your partner becomes your greatest cheerleader, standing beside you through life's ups and downs, offering unwavering encouragement and belief in your abilities. This kind of love strengthens you, giving you the confidence to face the world knowing that someone has your back. On the other hand, love that breaks you does the opposite. It leaves you feeling drained, insecure, and unworthy. Instead of building you up, it tears you down with constant criticism, neglect, or manipulation. It creates an environment where you feel as though you must shrink yourself or compromise your values to maintain the relationship. Over time, this kind of love erodes your self-esteem, making you doubt your worth and your ability to find happiness elsewhere. True love requires effort and intention from both partners. It's not just about grand gestures or fleeting moments of passion, but about the everyday actions that demonstrate care and commitment. It's in the way your partner listens to you, values your opinions, and takes your feelings into account. It's in the way they celebrate your successes and provide comfort during your struggles. These consistent acts of love and kindness create a foundation of trust and security, allowing the relationship to thrive. When love becomes one-sided or conditional, it loses its authenticity. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving, or if your partner only shows affection when it's convenient for them, the relationship becomes imbalanced. Love that elevates is reciprocal. It is a shared effort where both partners contribute equally to each other's happiness and growth. Anything less than this is not love, but a situation where your needs and well-being are overlooked. It's important to remember that love is not supposed to hurt. While every relationship has its challenges, these should not come at the expense of your dignity or peace of mind. Conflict, when handled with care and mutual respect, can strengthen a relationship. But when disagreements turn into cycles of blame, control, or emotional harm, it's a clear sign that the relationship is no longer serving its intended purpose. Walking away from a love that breaks you is not a sign of failure. It is a courageous act of self-preservation. It's an acknowledgement that you deserve better, that you deserve a love that lifts you up rather than pulls you down. This decision can be difficult, especially when you've invested time and emotion into the relationship. But staying in a harmful situation out of fear or attachment only prolongs the pain and prevents you from finding the love you truly deserve. Choosing a love that elevates means choosing yourself first. It means valuing your happiness, dreams, and self-worth enough to demand a partnership that aligns with your highest good. It also means setting boundaries and refusing to accept anything less than respect, kindness, and authenticity. When you hold yourself to these standards, you create the conditions for a relationship that not only survives but thrives. Love should be a source of light in your life, not darkness. It should bring joy, not sorrow, strength, not weakness. If a relationship breaks you instead of lifting you, it's not love, it's a lesson. And the most valuable lesson you can learn is that you deserve a love that elevates, empowers, and celebrates the incredible person you are. Relationships are meant to nurture, uplift, and empower, not to break, diminish, or devalue you. Trust, respect, consistency, and the actions that back up words are the cornerstones of true love. Patterns of betrayal, neglect, or harm should never be excused, as they reveal a deeper truth about someone's character. Most importantly, know your worth and never settle for less than a love that honors, values, and elevates you. Walking away from a relationship that no longer serves your highest good is not weakness, it is a profound act of strength and self-respect. Choose to protect your peace, prioritize your happiness, and create space for the love you truly deserve. Always remember, love should be a source of joy, not pain, a reflection of your value, not a question of it. Thank you for allowing me to share this message with you today. May you find the strength to seek and embrace the love that aligns with the best version of yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, within you lies the power to create worlds, to bring forth desires that seem unreachable. Yet the secret to this power is simplicity itself, repetition. When you repeat a thought, a word, or an affirmation with conviction, you awaken a force that transcends logic and defies circumstances. Begin by choosing a statement that embodies the life you wish to live. Let it be simple, yet potent. I am abundant, I am loved, or I am healthy, whatever it is. Let it affirm the fulfillment of your heart's deepest desire. Now, speak it aloud, not once, but again and again. Speak it as though it were already true, as though the reality of it were undeniable. Do not concern yourself with how or when it will come to pass. Focus only on the certainty of its existence. Feel the words as you speak them. Let the vibration of your affirmation stir within you the emotion of joy, gratitude, and completion. Imagine the world reshaping itself around your declaration. Repetition is the hammer that drives the nail into the foundation of your subconscious mind. As you repeat your affirmation, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your being. And just as a seed does not doubt the sun, the rain, or its ability to grow, neither should you doubt the fulfillment of your desire. Say it 100 times today and tomorrow and the next. Watch as the impossible bends to your will, as the unseen becomes visible, and as the formless takes shape. The world is but a reflection of the words you speak and the beliefs you hold. Speak with faith, persist without wavering, and remember this truth: the only limits are the ones you accept. Repeat this, beloved, and watch your reality transform. For what you affirm with persistence, you shall possess without fail. The power of imagination is the cornerstone of creation, the hidden force behind every manifestation in life. Everything you see around you, the buildings, the music, the technology, once existed only as a thought, an idea nurtured within someone's mind. Imagination is not just a tool of the mind, it is the womb of creation. It gives form to the unseen and breathes life into the intangible. When you realize the limitless potential of your imagination, you will see that nothing is beyond your reach. To imagine is to give shape to your desires, to see the unseen as though it were visible. It is the act of painting your reality on the canvas of your mind before it manifests in the world around you. The beauty of this process lies in its simplicity. You do not need external tools or resources, your mind is enough. It is here, in the quiet moments of thought, that you become the architect of your destiny. But imagination without faith is like a seed planted in barren soil. Faith is the life-giving force that allows your imagined reality to take root and grow. Faith is not mere wishful thinking, it is a deep, unshakable knowing that what you have imagined is already yours. When you hold a vision in your mind with conviction, the universe aligns itself to bring it to fruition. The invisible forces of creation respond to the clarity and intensity of your belief. Consider this: your subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts every thought and feeling you impress upon it as truth. When you vividly imagine something with faith, your subconscious begins to work tirelessly to make it a reality. It influences your actions, alters your perceptions, and draws circumstances into your life that align with your vision. Imagination allows you to rise above the limitations of your current circumstances. It is the bridge between where you are and where you wish to be. Through imagination, you can step into a reality that is freer, more abundant, and more fulfilling. In your mind, you are not confined by the constraints of time, space, or logic. You can travel anywhere, become anyone, and experience anything. This is the first step in creation, to dwell in the feeling of your desired reality as though it were already real. Many people underestimate the power of their imagination, dismissing it as mere daydreaming. But daydreaming with purpose and faith is the first spark of manifestation. What you repeatedly imagine with conviction begins to solidify. It shifts from the realm of thought to the realm of form. The more vivid and detailed your imagination, the more power it holds. See yourself living your dream, hear the sounds, feel the textures, and let the emotions of fulfillment wash over you. The challenge, however, lies in consistency. Imagination must be cultivated like a garden. Doubt, fear, and negative thoughts are weeds that threaten to choke the seeds you have planted. You must guard your imagination fiercely, nurturing it with positive affirmations and unwavering belief. Even when reality contradicts your vision, hold fast to your imagined truth. Persist in the face of opposition, for reality is malleable, and it will eventually conform to the images you hold in your mind. Do not allow the judgments of others or the appearance of obstacles to deter you. The power of imagination is a deeply personal and sacred process. No one else can see the visions you hold in your mind, but they will one day see the results of your faith and persistence. Trust in your ability to create, even when the path ahead is unclear. Imagination, when combined with faith, is the ultimate creative force. It does not matter how improbable or impossible your desire may seem. If you can imagine it and believe in it with all your heart, it is already on its way to you. The world is but a reflection of the images you hold within your mind. Change the inner picture, and the outer world must follow. The path to manifesting your desires is often filled with moments of uncertainty and doubt. These moments can cloud your vision, making it difficult to believe in the possibility of what you seek. Yet the key to overcoming doubt and aligning your life with your dreams lies in persistence. Specifically, the persistent repetition of affirmations has the power to reprogram your subconscious mind, guiding you steadily toward the reality you desire. Affirmations are not mere words, they are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. When repeated with faith and conviction, they imprint themselves upon your inner being, shaping your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. This process may not yield immediate results, but with persistence, the seemingly impossible becomes inevitable. Doubt is a natural response to unfamiliar territory. It arises when your current reality conflicts with the vision you hold in your mind. However, doubt is not a force to be feared or fought against. Instead, it is a signal to persist. Each time you repeat your affirmations, you override the voice of doubt, replacing it with the voice of certainty. Repetition is the antidote to uncertainty, for it creates a new mental pattern that becomes stronger with each iteration. Consider the subconscious mind as a malleable surface, one that is deeply impressed by repetition. Every thought you dwell upon leaves an imprint, shaping the beliefs that govern your life. When you consistently affirm your desires, you create a groove in your subconscious that directs your energy and focus. Over time, this groove deepens, becoming the foundation upon which your reality is built. For example, imagine affirming, "I am confident and capable." At first, these words may feel foreign or untrue, especially if your current experience is one of self-doubt. But as you repeat this affirmation daily with intention and belief, it begins to take root. Your subconscious mind starts to accept it as a fact, and your behavior aligns with this newfound confidence. You find yourself taking actions that reflect your affirmation, and opportunities that match this belief begin to appear in your life. The power of repetition lies not only in the words you speak, but also in the feelings you attach to them. Saying affirmations without emotion is like planting seeds in dry soil. They lack the nourishment needed to grow. When you repeat your affirmations, infuse them with the emotions of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment. Feel as though your desire has already been realized. This emotional charge accelerates the alignment of your subconscious mind with your desired reality. Persistence is especially crucial when external circumstances seem to contradict your affirmations. It is in these moments of apparent failure that many give up, allowing doubt to regain its hold. However, this is precisely when persistence is most needed. Remember, reality often lags behind the shifts occurring within your mind. The changes you seek may not yet be visible, but that does not mean they are not unfolding. Trust in the process and continue to affirm your desired outcome. Repetition also serves as a powerful reminder of your intentions. In the busyness of life, it is easy to lose focus and revert to old patterns of thinking. Daily affirmations keep your desires at the forefront of your mind, ensuring that your thoughts, words, and actions remain aligned with your goals. They act as a compass, guiding you toward the life you envision. One of the greatest challenges in this practice is overcoming resistance. You may find yourself thinking, "This isn't working," or "I feel silly saying these words." Such thoughts are normal, but they are also temporary. They represent the old beliefs trying to maintain their grip on your mind. By persisting in your affirmations, you gradually dissolve this resistance, replacing it with new, empowering beliefs. It is also important to recognize that repetition is not about blind recitation. The words you affirm must resonate with you on a deep level. Choose affirmations that align with your desires and speak them as though they are already true. Instead of saying, "I will be successful," say, "I am successful." This subtle shift in language reinforces the belief that your desire is already a reality. As you persist in this practice, you will notice subtle changes within yourself. You may feel more confident, more optimistic, and more aligned with your goals. These internal shifts are the precursors to external transformation. The more you repeat your affirmations, the more you condition your mind to expect and accept your desired reality. The repetition of affirmations becomes second nature, a habit that shapes your thoughts and actions effortlessly. At this point, doubt loses its power, for your subconscious mind has fully embraced the truth of your affirmations. Your desires begin to manifest, not as distant possibilities, but as tangible realities. Persist beyond doubt, for it is persistence that bridges the gap between where you are and where you wish to be. Trust in the process of repetition, and know that with each affirmation you are drawing closer to the life you envision. Doubt may knock at the door, but let your persistence answer it. Through repetition, you are shaping your destiny one word at a time. The power of your words cannot be overstated. They are not merely sounds or symbols, they are creative forces that shape your reality. Every word you speak carries energy, influencing your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. When you affirm something in the present tense, you align yourself with the reality you wish to experience. Speaking as if it is already done is not just a linguistic exercise, it is a transformative act that draws your desires into existence. The words spoken in the present tense are declarations of truth. When you say, "I am successful" or "I am loved," you are not merely describing your current situation, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not question or analyze, it accepts what it is told repeatedly as truth. By affirming in the present tense, you bypass doubt and skepticism, programming your subconscious to act as if your desire is already realized. The essence of speaking as if it is already done lies in the understanding that your inner world creates your outer world. What you consistently affirm becomes the lens through which you view life, and it shapes the circumstances you attract. When you speak in the present tense, you embody the feeling of already having what you desire. This feeling is the key to manifestation. It creates a vibrational match between your inner state and the external reality you seek to create. Many people fall into the trap of speaking about their desires in the future tense. They say, "I will be successful," or "I will find love," unknowingly reinforcing the idea that their desires are not yet here. While such statements may seem positive, they carry a subtle implication of lack and delay. The universe responds to the energy behind your words. When you speak in the future tense, you are essentially affirming that what you want is not yet yours, and the universe mirrors that back to you. Imagine instead speaking with unwavering confidence in the present tense. Say, "I am successful, I am abundant, I am deeply loved." These statements create a powerful shift in your consciousness. You begin to think, feel, and act as if your desire is already a reality. This alignment of thought, emotion, and action sends a clear signal to the universe, and it must respond by aligning external circumstances with your inner truth. The practice of speaking as if it is already done requires a shift in mindset. It may feel unnatural at first, especially if your current reality appears to contradict your affirmations. But remember, your words are not a reflection of your current circumstances, they are declarations of the reality you are creating. Trust in the process and persist even when evidence of change is not immediately visible. Reality often takes time to catch up with the shifts occurring within your mind. Speaking in the present tense is not about denial or wishful thinking. It is about stepping into the version of yourself who already possesses what you desire. This requires not only saying the words but also embodying the emotions and behaviors that align with your affirmation. If you affirm, "I am confident," begin to act as a confident person would. Stand tall, speak with clarity, and make decisions with certainty. Your actions reinforce your words, creating a feedback loop that accelerates the manifestation process. The power of present tense affirmations lies in their ability to rewire your subconscious mind. Over time, they replace old, limiting beliefs with empowering ones. If you have spent years believing, "I am not good enough," or "I don't deserve success," these thoughts have likely shaped your reality. But by consistently affirming, "I am worthy," or "I am successful," you overwrite these negative patterns. Your subconscious begins to accept the new narrative, and your outer world adjusts to reflect it. It is important to approach this practice with conviction and sincerity. Words spoken half-heartedly lack the energy needed to create change. When you affirm, speak with confidence and feeling. Visualize your desired reality as you say the words, and let the emotions of fulfillment wash over you. The combination of spoken affirmations and heartfelt emotion is a powerful catalyst for transformation. Another key to this practice is consistency. Speaking as if it is already done is not a one-time act, it is a daily discipline. Make your affirmations a part of your routine, whether through morning rituals, journaling, or moments of quiet reflection. The more you affirm, the more deeply your new beliefs take root, and the more your external reality shifts to match them. Your words are a declaration of who you are and what you stand for. By speaking as if your desires are already realized, you step into the role of a creator, not a passive observer. You claim your power to shape your life, one word at a time. Trust in the process, and know that the universe is always listening, ready to respond to the truth you declare. Speak boldly, confidently, and persistently, and watch as your spoken word becomes the foundation of the life you desire. Manifestation is not just about words or thoughts, it is deeply rooted in emotion. Your feelings are the vibrational language through which you communicate with the universe. To truly align with your desires and bring them into your reality, you must feel as though you already have them. Emotion is the fuel that powers the creative process, giving your affirmations the energy needed to transform your inner vision into an external experience. When you repeat affirmations, you are planting seeds in the garden of your subconscious mind. However, these seeds require nourishment to grow, and that nourishment comes from emotion. Merely reciting words without feeling their truth is like planting seeds in barren soil. They lack the vitality to take root and flourish. The moment you infuse your affirmations with emotion, they become alive, carrying the vibrational essence of your desire. Imagine the joy, gratitude, and fulfillment you would feel if your desire were already realized. Close your eyes and envision that reality in vivid detail. Picture yourself living in your dream home, experiencing your ideal relationship, or thriving in the career you've always wanted. As you create this mental image, allow yourself to feel the emotions that accompany it. Let the happiness, excitement, and sense of accomplishment flow through you. These feelings are not mere daydreams, they are the energetic blueprint of your desired reality. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you feel the emotions of already having what you desire, your subconscious accepts it as truth. It begins to align your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with this new reality, setting the wheels of manifestation into motion. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner state, and by embodying the emotions of your desired reality, you attract experiences that match those feelings. Emotion amplifies the power of repetition. When you repeat an affirmation like "I am abundant" but feel indifferent or doubtful, the words lack the vibrational charge needed to create change. However, when you speak the same affirmation with a deep sense of gratitude and excitement, your entire being resonates with the energy of abundance. This resonance acts as a magnetic force, drawing opportunities, resources, and experiences that align with your affirmation. Gratitude is one of the most potent emotions for manifestation. When you feel grateful for something, you affirm its presence in your life, even if it has not yet materialized. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, creating a powerful sense of alignment with your desires. As you repeat your affirmations, cultivate a sense of gratitude as if your desires have already been fulfilled. Say "Thank you for this abundance" or "I am so grateful for this love," and feel the truth of those words in your heart. Doubt and fear are common obstacles in the manifestation process. These emotions arise when your current reality seems far removed from your desires. However, the key to overcoming them is to persist in feeling the emotions of fulfillment, even in the face of apparent lack. Remember, your emotions are not a reaction to external circumstances, they are a choice. By consciously choosing to feel joy, gratitude, and confidence, you override the lower vibrations of doubt and fear, maintaining alignment with your desired reality. Visualization is a powerful tool to enhance the emotional aspect of your affirmations. As you repeat your affirmations, close your eyes and imagine yourself already living the life you desire. See the details, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions associated with that vision. The more vividly you can imagine it, the stronger the emotional connection becomes. This practice trains your subconscious mind to accept your vision as reality, accelerating the manifestation process. Another way to amplify emotion is through physical expression. Smile, laugh, or even dance as you repeat your affirmations. Physical movement releases energy and reinforces the positive emotions you are cultivating. When your body reflects the feelings of joy and fulfillment, it sends a powerful signal to your subconscious mind, further solidifying your alignment with your desires. Consistency is essential. Emotions can waver, especially when faced with challenges or setbacks. That's why it's important to make this practice a daily ritual. Begin and end each day by repeating your affirmations with feeling. Let the emotions of fulfillment be the first and last thing you experience each day. Over time, this consistent practice will rewire your subconscious mind, replacing old patterns of doubt and limitation with a new, empowered belief system. The power of emotion in manifestation lies in its ability to bridge the gap between your current reality and your desired state. When you feel as though your desire is already yours, you collapse the distance between imagination and reality. The universe responds not to your words alone, but to the emotional energy behind them. Feel deeply, persistently, and authentically, and you will witness the unfolding of your desires in ways that seem almost miraculous. Emotion is the heartbeat of creation. It is the energy that transforms intention into reality, thought into form, and dreams into existence. As you repeat your affirmations, let emotion guide you. Feel the joy, the love, the abundance, and the gratitude as though your desires have already manifested. With each repetition, you are not only speaking your truth, but living it, breathing it, and becoming it. And in this alignment, you unlock the limitless potential within you to create the life you desire. When you focus on the end result, you tap into a profound creative principle that reshapes your reality. Manifestation begins and ends with the mind, and what you consistently hold in your imagination becomes the blueprint for your life. To manifest your desires effectively, you must concentrate entirely on the fulfillment of your wish, ignoring the how and trusting in the natural process that will bring it to pass. The key is to dwell in the feeling of the desired outcome as if it has already been achieved. The tendency for many is to obsess over the steps needed to reach a goal. This fixation on the how can lead to doubt, frustration, and unnecessary effort. The truth is, the process is not your responsibility. Your responsibility lies in holding the vision of the completed result. When you fixate on the process, you may inadvertently create resistance by doubting whether things are progressing as they should. This resistance delays the manifestation of your desire. By focusing solely on the end result, you allow the universe to orchestrate the perfect unfolding in ways you might never have anticipated. Visualization is your most powerful tool in this practice. Close your eyes and imagine your desire as if it is already fulfilled. See yourself living in the reality you wish to create. Feel the emotions associated with that outcome: joy, gratitude, peace, or excitement. Let these feelings wash over you, making your imagined reality feel as vivid and real as your current experience. This emotional connection is crucial because it creates a vibrational match between you and your desired outcome. When you focus on the end result, you train your mind to live in the state of fulfillment. This state becomes a magnet for experiences, people, and opportunities that align with your vision. You may not know how these elements will come together, but that is the beauty of this process. By releasing the need to control the how, you create space for divine timing and infinite possibilities to work on your behalf. Trust that the universe has a far greater perspective than you do, and can weave together circumstances in ways beyond your comprehension. It's important to maintain mental discipline during this practice. The mind often wants to wander into doubts or second-guessing the process. Thoughts like, what if it doesn't work, or how will this ever happen, can creep in, disrupting the energy of belief and certainty. When these thoughts arise, gently redirect your focus back to the end result. Remind yourself that your role is to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, not to analyze or solve the mechanics of its manifestation. Another powerful aspect of focusing on the end result is the elimination of contradictory thoughts. When you dwell on the fulfillment of your desire, you reinforce a single, clear intention. Contradictory thoughts, such as doubts, fears, or feelings of lack, cannot coexist with the conviction that your desire is already yours. By continually returning to the state of fulfillment, you dissolve these conflicting energies and align fully with your goal. Patience is essential in this practice. There may be a time lag between your mental alignment with your desire and its physical manifestation. This delay is not a sign that nothing is happening. Rather, it is the universe rearranging itself to bring your vision into reality. During this time, maintain your focus and faith. Resist the urge to look for evidence of progress in the outer world, as this can create unnecessary anxiety. Instead, trust that the fulfillment of your desire is inevitable because you have already claimed it in your mind. An often overlooked aspect of focusing on the end result is the transformative impact it has on your identity. When you consistently dwell on the outcome, you begin to embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire. For example, if your goal is financial abundance, focusing on the end result might mean seeing yourself as someone who is prosperous and confident. Over time, this identity shift changes your thoughts, actions, and energy, making you a match for the reality you seek. This practice also helps you release the grip of limitations. When you focus solely on the end result, you are no longer confined by the perceived obstacles in your current reality. You rise above limitations by choosing to see only the completed vision. This mental elevation opens doors to solutions and opportunities that might have seemed impossible before. By aligning with the outcome, you transcend the barriers that once held you back. The simplicity of this practice is its greatest strength. Focusing on the end result requires no special skills or external resources, only your imagination and commitment. It is an act of faith, a declaration that you trust in the power of your mind to create your reality. Each time you return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you strengthen the bridge between your inner vision and your outer experience. Focusing on the end result is an act of surrender and empowerment. It frees you from the burden of figuring out the how and allows you to dwell in the joy and certainty of already having what you desire. As you make this practice a daily ritual, you will witness the miraculous unfolding of your dreams, brought to life by the power of your unwavering focus and belief. Repetition is one of the most powerful tools for shaping your reality. It is the consistent reinforcement of a thought, affirmation, or vision that impresses the subconscious mind and brings it into alignment with your desires. The subconscious is like fertile soil ready to receive the seeds you plant through repetition. With time and persistence, these seeds grow into the circumstances, experiences, and outcomes you seek. The impossible becomes inevitable not through luck or chance, but through the deliberate practice of repeating your desired reality until it becomes second nature. The subconscious mind operates differently from the conscious mind. It does not question or rationalize, it simply accepts what it is repeatedly told. This is why repetition is so effective. By affirming a thought or idea over and over again, you bypass the critical filter of the conscious mind and impress that idea onto your subconscious. Once imprinted, the subconscious begins to work tirelessly to bring that idea into reality. It aligns your actions, emotions, and energy with the belief you have cultivated, creating a pathway for manifestation. Repetition is not just about mechanical recitation, it is about persistence and conviction. When you repeat an affirmation like "I am successful, I am loved," or "I am abundant," you are not simply stating words, you are declaring a truth. At first it may feel unnatural, especially if your current reality seems far from the truth you are affirming. But this is where the power of repetition shines. Over time, as you continue to repeat your affirmations with belief and emotion, they become embedded in your subconscious, replacing old, limiting beliefs with new, empowering ones. The beauty of repetition lies in its simplicity. You do not need to understand every detail of how your subconscious mind works to harness its power. All you need is commitment and consistency. Just as a drop of water can eventually wear away a stone through persistent dripping, so too can repeated affirmations reshape your inner world, regardless of how entrenched your old beliefs may seem. Repetition builds momentum, gradually transforming your thoughts and perceptions until they align with the reality you desire. One of the reasons repetition is so effective is that it creates familiarity. The subconscious mind gravitates toward what feels familiar, even if that familiarity is rooted in negativity or limitation. By repeating positive affirmations and visualizing your desired outcome, you replace the old patterns of doubt, fear, or lack with new patterns of confidence, faith, and abundance. The more you repeat these positive messages, the more familiar they become, and the more your subconscious accepts them as truth. Consistency is the key to success in this practice. Sporadic efforts will not yield the same results as daily, intentional repetition. Make it a habit to repeat your affirmations multiple times throughout the day, especially in the morning when your mind is fresh and at night when your subconscious is most receptive. Use these moments to plant the seeds of your desires, trusting that they will take root and grow. The more consistent you are, the faster you will see changes in your thoughts, feelings, and outer circumstances. It is important to approach repetition with focus and intention. Simply repeating words without feeling or attention is less effective. Engage your emotions as you repeat your affirmations and visualize the end result as vividly as possible. For example, if you are affirming abundance, imagine yourself enjoying the fruits of your prosperity, feeling the joy, gratitude, and ease that come with it. This emotional engagement amplifies the impact of your repetition, making it a powerful force for transformation. Repetition also builds resilience. In the face of doubt, setbacks, or challenging circumstances, the habit of repetition helps you stay anchored in your vision. It reminds you of the truth you are creating, even when your outer reality has yet to reflect it. This persistence is essential, because manifestation often requires faith and patience. By repeating your affirmations, you reinforce your belief in the unseen and keep your energy aligned with your desires. Over time, the effects of repetition become undeniable. You will notice a shift in your thoughts, behaviors, and even the way others respond to you. Your subconscious mind, now programmed with empowering beliefs, will guide you toward opportunities and actions that support your vision. The outer world, a mirror of your inner state, will begin to transform in ways that seem almost miraculous. What once seemed impossible will unfold naturally, as if it were always meant to be. Repetition is not just a mental exercise, it is a declaration of commitment to your dreams. Each repetition strengthens your connection to the reality you wish to create. It is a reminder that you have the power to shape your life not through force or struggle, but through the steady, intentional practice of aligning your thoughts with your desires. Repetition is a practice of faith and persistence. It teaches you that change begins within, and that by consistently impressing your subconscious with the vision of your desired reality, you set in motion the forces that make it inevitable. No matter how distant your goal may seem, repetition bridges the gap, transforming the impossible into the inevitable, one thought, one affirmation, and one moment at a time. In conclusion, the power to manifest your desires lies within your consistent focus, belief, and unwavering faith in the unseen. By harnessing tools such as imagination, repetition, affirming as if it's already done, feeling the emotions of fulfillment, and focusing solely on the end result, you align yourself with the infinite creative forces of the universe. Your thoughts, words, and feelings become the architects of your reality, turning what once seemed impossible into inevitable truth. Remember, you are the creator of your world. By impressing your subconscious mind with the reality you wish to experience, you activate the divine power within you to bring it to life. Trust the process, persist through doubt, and stay anchored in the conviction that your desires are already yours. With patience and persistence, the unseen will become seen, and your inner vision will unfold into your outer reality. Thank you for allowing these words to inspire and guide you on your journey of creation. May you walk forward with confidence, knowing that the life you desire is already within your grasp. Keep faith, keep imagining, and keep believing your reality is waiting for you to claim it.